things on the news can be super cringy. Nani? So let's see how this one plays out.
Meat creates toxic masculinity, according to a university professor. Eating meat is bad for you, it's bad for the country, and it reinforces gender stereotypes, apparently.
Okay, so first of all, these are a lot of different claims. Meat is not good for you, from my perspective, right? I'm just a chef. But the World Health Organization, Harvard University, and Cancer.org all say that red meat can cause cancer, a significant amount, specifically colon cancer. Not to mention that you don't get any fiber from it, and fiber is really good for you.
But it tastes so good. Joining me now, Dr. D'Alessio Parson. Okay, doctor. Why is eating meat bad, really?
Well, we have to back up because you, I think at the beginning, just said eating meat creates toxic masculinity. Mm-hmm. The toxic masculinity is already there.
It's already there, just making...
So right off the bat, let's say he is being the argumentative one by making these claims, and she is just like, So she's not really helping the situation. She seems like she's already triggered right now.
Does eating meat make toxic masculinity worse?
It's one of the ways in which it can reinforce existing kind of social structures, including patriarchy.
Well, how does that reinforce social structures where men dominate eating?
Because the only argument that meat eaters can come up with, bacon. Bacon, though. That's all I have to say, and I win every argument.
Just keep it simple. How does eating meat make the genders unequal?
Eating meat holds a lot of symbolism, and it really is too much to explain in 4 minutes. But it has to do with the fact that our individual level decisions, the things we decide to do as individuals, what we consume, what we put on our bodies, the things we buy and put in our households, are fundamentally political acts.
Okay.
Political, I would say it's more genre-based. When I was living in Las Vegas as a nightclub promoter, I would judge on what kind of music someone would listen to based on what clothing that they would wear, and about 8 times out of 10, I was correct.
So...
Oh my gosh.
I'm having a steak right now because I'm
really
starving.
I hear you. I wish I could have half of that, but this doesn't look vegan, and I'm trying to be vegan.
And I'm trying to be vegan is very... It's a weird thing to say for someone that is vegan, you know? I'm trying to be vegan. I wish I could have half that. These are things that I would just never even say. Something tells me that she's not even vegan.
It's really hard because I don't know if I told you I'm from Wisconsin.
Okay.
And
she's got to be a paid actor.
Like one of my favorite things.
See how that looks pretty good. That's a little rare.
This has to be a setup. This has to be a setup. Like, are you kidding me? They got some like mediocre actor off of Craigslist. That's what I'm assuming.
The idea of killing and taking a life.
Killing and taking a life.
We should really deeply consider what that means for us as human beings. You know, people have said you should judge a society by how it treats their animals. And we, you know, it'd be great if...
How come I've never even heard that before? Something's fishy about this girl.
We had universal health care for our animals.
Universal health care. Okay. This is where you lost me. Universal health care for our animals. No. This is staged.
And I think in order for us to achieve a more sustainable future, particularly regarding what's happening with climate change, we need to figure out how the 7.6 billion of us on this planet can be good neighbors. And we're really bad at being good neighbors right now.
Okay, so like, why should I be a good neighbor to a squirrel?
Well,
what kind of question is that, dude?
It's not like something that's going to be perfect. We're never going to be perfect at it.
But what if you're just hungry and the animals are there for us to enjoy for dinner, for lunch,
because God said
for breakfast?
Did God tell you that?
The look at Jessie Waters' face when she said, because God said so.
Because God said so.
Breakfast.
Did God tell you that?
Well, I mean, why would they...
He looked a little triggered there when she brought up God. Oh, because God said so? Don't you talk about my God like that.
God said so.
Breakfast.
Did God tell you that?
Well, I mean, why would they taste so good if we weren't supposed to eat them?
Okay, why do animals taste so good if we weren't supposed to eat them? For one, how self-centered can someone be that animals are on Earth for you? You're not the center of the universe. I was actually reading a book by Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's called Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. And in this book, he explains that the universe is so huge and so massive, so ginormous, and so unfathomable huge that it doesn't even have a center. The universe doesn't have a center, so you can't be it.
Sugar tastes good.
Yeah, I eat sugar too.
Okay, so this is another thing that I wanted to bring up. Meat doesn't taste good. It doesn't. You season it with plants, and that makes it taste good. If you just boil chicken, it's gonna be really bland, and you're probably not gonna like it. I mean, you could eat it. I mean, don't get me wrong, eat it all you want, but you're gonna be eating some bland steak if you don't put any steak sauce on it, or if you don't season it with like rosemary or garlic.
Obesity, diabetes.
Well, I mean, I have some sugar, but
I mean, you clearly have a lot.
I don't just pour sugar down my throat.
You clearly have some things around like who you are that protect you, and like especially a lot of, I think, financial resources to like do things.
Oh,
that
because
are
he's
very
rich, he can
expensive
afford steak.
So that's also part of the problem, is that some people are really taking up more than their fair share of, you know,
So
plate
the rich people are stealing all the steak from the poor people.
surplus value.
Okay, well, you know what?
I got a book for you.
I'm gonna go take this
Wait,
steak
can
and
I
I'm
get the
gonna go give it to a homeless guy out on 6th Avenue.
Go for it.
She has to plug her book. Okay. So the thing about Jesse Waters is, right? I watch Fox News sometimes, not because I like Fox News, but because I try and just get another perspective. But like I said, Fox News is an oxymoron. They don't even really report the news. They just kind of ask questions, like open-ended questions to their audience. And it just like creates this like hate group, and that's Fox News for you. But here is something triggering for you to watch about Jesse Waters from Fox News, is that he talks about deflating his colleague's tires, and tires is spelt wrong, so he can drive her home.
When I was trying to get Emma to date me, first thing I did, let the air out of her tires. She couldn't go anywhere. She needed a lift. I said, hey, you need a lift? She hopped right in the car.
Does she know this story?
No, she doesn't know this story.
Hello. Hit that like button and don't cancel me for watching Fox News on my YouTube channel. At the beginning of this video, I thought that toxic masculinity wasn't a thing. I don't know if this qualifies as toxic masculinity, but this is very toxic, and it's not a good way to start a new relationship.
Did she watch the show?
The Jesse Jr. does.
You're basically the Zodiac
It's
killer.
so cringy. Yeah.
It's a happy ending.
Really? Yes, we're married. Did you really do that? Is that the first time you did it, or did you use that before?
It works like a charm.
That's so cringy. Imagine your guy, you know, taking you on a nice date, and then, you know, he's slashing your tires. Oh, your tires are slashed. Oh, it definitely wasn't me when I went to go to the bathroom when we were in the restaurant, but do you need a ride home? What? I mean, like, coming home from work and stuff like that, but I'm just saying, like, imagine that scenario. Oh, that's so cringy. See, Jesse Waters, you're not perfect either. And even though you eat meat, I don't really care what you eat, but whatever. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I'm trying to think about what to put on this wall, so leave a comment on what you think should be on this wall. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.